What is one truck operation that every professional truck driver must observe continually in order to help avoid being involved in a preventable accident? Hello, I'm Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. Tonight I'm going to be talking about following distance and safe following distance. I'm going to be referring a good bit to the page on our website called Maintain a Safe Following Distance Behind Other Vehicles, Trucker. Okay, this is one of those things that should be self-explanatory. Okay, it should be common sense. It should be intuitive that you don't want to follow behind another vehicle too closely. But I get weary of reading about accidents where trucks were following too closely. I think sometimes it is the case where we get a little lax, or because we're on cruise control or something like that, that we may just not be paying as good of attention as we can. Before I get started in the guts of this thing, I want to ask you, if you get value from this, to please give me likes and hearts and shares, and I would appreciate your feedback as well. All right, so failure to maintain a safe following distance behind the vehicle in front of you can lead to either a near miss or a traffic accident. Okay, near miss, as you may know, is one of those heart-pounding situations in which you realize just how close you came to a collision, and you can still be cited, okay, for following too closely or tailgating or worse. And we also talk on our website about tailgating, and that's a whole that's something that leads into this. But the thing about it is, we have among us some professional truck drivers who are very motivated. Okay, they're red lion types. They're the type that take charge. They want to get down the road quickly, and they don't appreciate it when someone is going too slowly in front of them, or someone who has a lot of following distance in front of them, and they think they ought to be up there closer. But the thing about it is an accident in both an accident is costly. An accident is costly in both time and money. Besides the damage done to your truck and other vehicles involved, there may be personal injuries or fatalities, okay? And we're trying to avoid all of that, all right? You've got a series of things that can happen. So let's get into this, all right? Following distance can very quickly turn into braking distance and stopping distance depending on slowed or stopped traffic ahead. And I've got a number of these accidents that have been cited here. All right, one of them in July 2009, it says tractor-trailer accident, Indiana family killed in semi-truck accident. Another one, $23.5 million verdict for tractor-trailer SUV accident. All right, state police finding 2 tractor-trailer truck drivers at fault. All right, and this is the kind of thing where no matter how good of an attorney you have, okay, because of your actions behind the wheel of your truck, okay, you're probably going to get sued. All right, it's not just you or your trucking company. Okay, it's you could be cited for a lot. All right, if you've been like us, you tend to look for trends, and there are a few red flags that we see from the foregoing in similar articles about following distance, and let me just list them. The tractor-trailer driver is coming over a hill where he or she cannot see what's on the other side. The accident sometimes occurs in the early morning hours before the sun comes up, hindering visibility. Mechanical failure that could have been prevented wasn't, possibly because the truck driver failed to do a proper pre-trip inspection. Okay, if you don't have your brakes properly adjusted, that could be a problem. All right, inclement weather, that is rain, ice, snow, and fog, helped to exacerbate a bad situation. And frankly, the truck driver was just driving too fast for conditions. All right, so we talk about the formula to calculate total stopping distance as perception distance plus reaction distance plus brake lag distance plus effective braking distance equals the total stopping distance. And you want to be prepared at all times. All right, according to the section of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's website, this is a quote, following too closely may be defined as situations in which one vehicle is following another vehicle so closely that even if the following driver is attentive to the actions of the vehicle ahead, he or she could not avoid a collision in the circumstance when the driver in front brakes suddenly. Okay, I hope that you caught that. All right, there was recently a situation where there was an accident where the vehicle that was directly in front of the truck, okay, there was a motorcycle involved. The motorcycle did something stupid. The vehicle in front stopped suddenly, and the truck just rammed into him, okay? Preventable accident. And thing about it is, all right, even though this may not, even though the person who cut in front or cut off was the one who triggered this whole series of events, because the truck was following the vehicle in front of it too closely, the truck driver, I'm sure, was probably cited, and it's totally preventable. All right, and we got some other information. All right, before I get into the money-saving tips here at the bottom of the page, I want to ask you if you're getting value from this. All right, please, under no circumstances, allow yourself to be involved in this. Remember the Smith system. Always leave yourself an out. Now, you're going to probably say to me, Vicki, what about the people who cut in front of me too closely? All right, happens all the time. We had situations, Mike lost count of them, where he's in the right-hand lane going down the interstate, and there are either one or two lanes to his left, and there's a ramp, okay, an exit off of the interstate or whatever the highway is. All right, someone zooms up his left-hand side, cuts in front of him, and exits off immediately. All right, now, Mike usually just laid on the air horn, okay, to let the person know, look, that's not acceptable behavior. But the thing about it is that we live in what I call a video game mentality society. Okay, people are used to making those quick cuts in and living or doing a redo or a do-over because that's what their video game mentality says. They don't realize, okay, a lot of these four-wheelers, they simply don't realize that 18-wheelers don't have 18 brakes and they can't react as quickly. They should know, but they don't know, or they've lost sight of it, or whatever. Or maybe they're just being stupid, or maybe it's one of those things where it's kind of like mama in the car always say, well, honey, papa, we need to go down to this store here, so if you'll just zoom up in front of the truck, I'm sure we'll be okay. Okay, and they're not thinking ahead, okay, and there have been a number of accidents where someone got hung, okay, coming around a truck either from the left or from the right, okay, and they cut so quickly and so close to the truck that they ended up getting clipped, and it literally flipped their car 90 degrees, okay, where the vehicle in front of the truck is this, and they're being pushed down the road by the truck. Okay, it happens. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen these articles about trucks that have had this happen, videos online on YouTube. All right, so I'm trying to help you to remember, leave enough following distance. Okay, what if you have someone that cuts in front of you too close? Back off. Okay, just back off, and you put more distance in between you and the other vehicle. And it's kind of like, well, what if they keep doing that? Look, you're the professional. Okay, leave yourself an out. You do what is necessary in order to help avoid being involved in a preventable accident. Okay? Also, we have a page on our website about dash cams. We strongly recommend that every professional truck driver get his or her own, not a company provided, your own dash cam to go out the windshield so that you can see what it is that's happening and that you have a record of what's going on in case something happens. Okay? Those dash cams, they can be pretty good and pretty inexpensive depending upon where it is that you shop. We may or may not have some information about specific ones on the website, but I know that we have a way for you to be able to download, request, okay, some specifications about dash cam so that you could be an informed consumer before you do that. But let me get back to this following distance thing by sharing these money-saving tips. Again, if you're getting value, please give us some feedback. I'm going to be putting the link to our safe driving, the following distance URL here under this video after I'm done broadcasting. All right, money-saving tips. In order to maintain a safe following distance, always bear in mind your terrain and what could be over the hill. Always make sure that you can brake safely and smoothly. Remember, it takes longer to stop in certain conditions. Your following distance should be geared to many things, including traffic flow and weather. While some trucks are equipped with anti-lock brakes, that equipment may not totally prevent skidding and jackknifing, especially in inclement inclement weather. Be a defensive driver. Anticipate the unexpected. One rule of following distance is to never, ever overdrive your headlights. Be especially alert when driving during non-daylight hours. Always perform a pre-trip inspection and verify that your brakes are adjusted correctly. Even if you've been maintaining proper following distance, all bets are off regarding being able to brake effectively if your brakes don't work. All right, never get in a hurry. Remember that you are a professional and that you are being paid to move freight safely from one location to another. The well-being of you as a person, the motoring public around you, your truck, and the freight you're hauling are worth whatever extra time you need to take to be safe. Of course, if you have trouble maintaining, let me read that again. Of course, if you have trouble making a safe on-time appointment, you need to inform your driver manager. As one of our old fleet managers once said, the fastest way to cool off a hot truck is in a ditch, or it could be a hot load. Okay, the fastest way to cool off a hot load is in a ditch. All right, as with other truck operations, so it is with maintaining a safe following distance behind other vehicles. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. All right, so take it from me. I've had the situations happen. Mike's had the situation happen where people around us are acting crazy, but you're the professional, so I'm going to ask you to please maintain good and safe following distance, all right? Make sure that your brakes are good, all right? You're the professional, and I know that you're going to just do fine. All right, this is Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. If you like this, please share it with others. All right. Until next time, my husband Mike and I wish you safe travels and lots of money-saving opportunities on the road. Have a great night. Thanks.